So let's talk about apprentices.
All right.
So you and I are in a county. Let me ask you. Okay, is it the entire state of Nevada that requires a 6-month apprenticeship?
It's not.
It's not.
It's just Southern Nevada.
It's Southern Nevada, so it's Clark County.
Yep.
Okay. So
I actually don't even know if it's, well, it might just be just Clark County. Like, I don't think like Nye County.
do you even do permanent makeup up there?
You do. I have a few students on prom. Can you believe that? Yeah. And I don't know if they have to have a 6-month apprenticeship
They
or not.
may not. Yeah,
I'm not exactly sure. And the reason that is because the county doesn't know.
Yeah, gotcha. I gotcha.
So yeah, they should probably do one, but
Yeah, I
So, yeah.
gotcha. Pahrump is an interesting like city
Yep.
or town. Is it a town
Yeah.
or a city?
I think it's a town.
It's a town.
Yeah.
But it's cool out there. It's growing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're developing out there. It's really cool. Pahrump even Pahrump. I love that name. They even have like a wine
Do they?
vineyard. Yeah. a
Interesting.
wine-
In Pahrump, they
in
grow
Pahrump.
things out. Things
Yeah,
grow.
they grow fucking wine, grapes.
Wow.
Yes, they have one, a vineyard in Pahrump. Swear to
Wow.
God. I know, it's crazy.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is. So we're in Clark County. And so to be licensed in PMU or body tattooing, both are on the same card. It's not really a different license or different at all, according to our health department. And 6 months.
Yep.
6 months.
Yep.
So you do apprentices.
Yep.
You do the apprentices, and you
I
also do like advanced training, like
Yep.
3-day training classes,
Yep.
5-day. But you
Yep.
also do the 6 months.
Yep.
So me too. So I think that's interesting. I have never really sat down and had a conversation with somebody here in town, an artist like yourself, that does apprenticeships.
I don't know if there are a lot. Are there?
There's some. There's not a lot, and most of them, I don't. They're not great.
Well, that's what I hear. So
Yeah.
I would say a lot of the time. I would say 40 to 50% of the time, the apprentices that I have trained elsewhere
Yes.
and have said, well, I showed up to take my first client and the door was locked.
Yes.
I get that a lot.
Yes. Well, with our health department, if this is still, I think this is still true. Yes, it's 6 months, but they also list how many hours a week.
Really? Is that new?
No.
For
and
here?
Yes. So it's only really 2 hours a week
Interesting.
for 6 months.
Okay.
So if now that may have changed because our health department just came out with some new guidelines and stuff. You know, they included they changed the language to include saline removal now.
Yep.
And they added, so I think that was like about a year and a half ago. So they may have changed it.
Okay.
I'm not sure. But at one time, right up until maybe they've changed it a year ago, it was, yes, 6 months, but all that's required hour wise is like 2 hours a week. So what's that, 8 to 10 hours
Yeah.
a month?
Yeah.
And from what I hear on the street, because, you know, I hear a lot that you get, that a lot of the places, that's all they allow, 2 hours a week to come into the studio, because that's what, that's the
Wow,
requirement
that's a
from
requirement,
the
yeah.
health department. So when we get off here, I'm going to look in to see if the health department did change that. So, and of course, we both know that's not nearly enough time.
No.
You know, and a lot of, I think some places in town, you know, they charge very, very, very little, and, you know, and they would have like tons of apprentices at one time. But now the health department did change that. Now you can now you have to have a mentorship card here in
Yep.
town. You can only have 5 apprentices
Yep.
under your card at any one time, which I think is good.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
really welcome those changes, and I like those changes. So doing apprentices, brand new, they're with you 6 months, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And right now I have 4, and they all started at different times. I weave them in. I don't have like one start date and all 5 start, and then they all graduate at the same time. It's kind of like 2 will start, and then 2 months in I'll have another one. So it's kind of like
I do mine the same way.
the same way, right?
Yep.
And and I love that, because by the time like a new apprentice or a couple of apprentices come in, there's a couple of apprentices that have already been with you for 5, 6 months,
Yep.
and then they can kind of step up as big sister and help guide. They actually help you
They do. Yeah. Yes.
run the apprenticeship program and school and educate, you know, the brand new one that just started. And I think that's actually really good for that apprentice as
do
well.
too.
It gets what you and I have just been spending months
Yes.
teaching them, verbalized out of their mind
Yep.
and vocal, and it reiterates what they know. I think it gives them confidence.
Yes. Absolutely.
So that's what I have found, that they enjoy that role
Yes.
that they graduate into, helping us with
absolutely.
the brand new apprentices.
Yeah, it builds camaraderie too. I don't know. I didn't feel like there was a ton of support when I went to school 19 years ago. There
Right.
wasn't a lot of that. It was almost the opposite.
Right.
And so I like that because they are finding friends that they can talk to about their clients too. Like, did I do this right? You know, what would you suggest? Have you had the same experience?
Right. And grow with, you know, because
Yes.
as fabulous of a craft this is in a career, it's hard. There's some hard days ahead and some hard clients, and there's going to be some painful moments ahead for these newbies, right? Everybody fucks something up somewhere along the line.
Yep.
And you got to fix your own work.
I say that all the time. You're going to correct your own work one day, so don't say those mean things. Don't
Yeah.
post on Instagram, corrective work, another artist. And like, don't do it.
Yeah.
Because I promise you're going to correct your own work one day.
Yes. Absolutely. It happens to everybody.
Yes.
You know, you don't step out
Right.
as an amazing artist.
Yeah, no.
You might have amazing raw talent.
Yes.
You know, but I don't know anybody
But the way you learn is through trial and error sometimes.
trial
That's
and
how
error
I learned a lot
sometimes,
of stuff because I didn't have a mentor. So it was really hard.
Exactly. I think a lot of the mistakes also, and some of the pickles that you get yourself in as a young artist, is because you didn't set really strong boundaries in your procedure room and with the client. You can get pushed into doing something you're not comfortable with, talked into doing something, or maybe work on a client.
Do you know what's interesting, Taryn, is when I first went to school, you did not let other people in the room and watch. You did not take videos. You did not post like raw footage doing it,
Right.
because you didn't want anyone else to say, oh, I'm not signing up to get that
Yeah.
done. But now, isn't it so interesting that now
It's
we video everything?
360.
Yeah.
I don't let my clients bring friends, guests, you know, I don't.
I say the same thing too.
Yeah, that just annoys the crap out of me, and it's always been a bad experience.
Well, I get in the zone. Like, I need to be focused and
and I don't want like her sister over here in the corner stepping up and
let's fix that right
yeah, like critiquing my drawing. It's like you know, it's like it's like I don't know, I just that annoys me.
Yeah.
So we have a strict policy in our studio. I don't even let my studio artists bring in friends, let their clients bring in friends. You know, you can wait in the lobby.
Yeah.
Now, if you know, I mean, we work on clients that are blind. You know, maybe there's a language. There are exceptions, of course. You know,
for sure.
to the rule.
Yeah.
And I do bend the rules sometimes when it comes to my areola work.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that. Yeah.
For sure, 100%. You know. But typically, no. My rule is.
Yeah. Well, I always think of my sweet little newbies. Like, they don't need an audience. Like, that's so stressful.
Yeah.
You know, they're already sweating and terrified.
Yeah.
And, you know, they don't need their client's husband to say, well, you should do this.
Exactly.
You know, and the husband's now a brow artist. That's my favorite.
So let me ask you this: with your apprentices, do you haze them a little? You put a little bit of a haze. You poke at them, like you haze them a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I gotta tease them a little. I gotta tease them a little.
Oh yeah, I do too. I got one, Trish. I think I told you. Yeah, next Saturday we're inviting everybody down. She's doing her very first eyebrow next Saturday at 12 o'clock. Everyone.
Everybody show up.
So I've been really messing with her this week. Yeah, I mean it's like, but she's ready.
Yeah.
She's been on latex. She's ready. She's ready.
So exciting.
So exciting.
really
And
exciting.
so I'm super stoked for her.